Hello everyone, welcome to the session today. So today's session we will start with Streamlit and we will also have a recap of topics which we did till now, correct? So before we deep dive into Streamlit, let me just cover all the topics which we covered till now. So till now we started with LLM, correct? We learned how LLM understands a particular language and also can respond back in that particular language, correct? And LLMs are exposed via OpenAI or tools like Gemini, correct? And we went and learned that how to use them, correct, with their individual libraries. But the problem with them was they were all paid services, correct? Many of them were paid services. So we went and made use of Olama. So what we did in Olama we created a local server in which we can pull models of our choice, of course LLM models, and run it locally. Advantage is I don't have to pay anything, no cost involved, correct? Then we expanded our example to see how can we call Olama. So we made use of two things, one by using the modules, Olama modules, and correspondingly by using requests, correct? We were able to make request calls and correspondingly generate data from Olama. We did two types. One is request by using streaming and request by using non-streaming, correct? Both the ways we did. Okay. So we did that. This was followed by how to integrate this with Agentic AI, correct? So then we learned what are agents, why agents are required when LLM is there, what are the planning steps, how can we use agent to plan, correct, and correspondingly execute steps, correct. We also learned that agents, if they want to remain true to what reply they give, they will need to get the data from some source, correct? And we learned how to connect to API. We also learned how to make use of files. We also learned how to make use of database, correct, to fetch data and correspondingly massage the data and send it as response. So using agents, we were able to do all this. And then we went deep dive into some libraries like LangChain, Crew AI, correct? We made use of these libraries. We also saw how can we chain various processors together, correct? In the case of getting the input. So getting the input also we learned how to use LLM. How can we make the input in a customized way, correct? That also we learned. And we made use of the processor, correct? Output also we learned how to convert the output to JSON or how to convert the output to STR processor, correct? Then we went and learned about custom workflows. That also we learned yesterday. So this is what we learned till now. So of course we applied a lot of examples with various variations. But one thing what we did not see till now is how can we integrate this entire thing with UI. So the agent workflow or agent flow will become successful only and only if we have some UI. Now currently in the technological world, there are many UIs available, correct? Predominantly React, Vue, Angular, you name it, that type of UIs are available, correct? But in the world of agentic AI, one of the most commonly used UI technology is Streamlit. Okay, so using Streamlit, you can easily generate good looking UIs, and you can also easily integrate it with agents. Correct. So that's what is the agenda for today's session. Of course, today we will just get started with the basics of Streamlit. Tomorrow we will see how to integrate it with various agent flow. Correct. So for today, we will start with how to make use of Streamlit. What is Streamlit made up of? What are the core components? How can it be integrated? And how to develop applications by using Streamlit. Okay, so that's why we are here. How to take care of the UI part, correct? So the basic agenda for the day is Streamlit UI. And integration with agents we will discuss, but we will do how to integrate it with agents tomorrow because that will be a complete flow. So today we will be focusing more on how to know more about what is Streamlit and the corresponding UI services which it provides. Okay. So first question comes, why Streamlit? Why we cannot use something like React, Vue, Angular, correct, for integrating with agents? The answer is yes, you can use React, Vue, Angular, EXTJS, any UI framework you say, you can easily integrate with agents. We know agents can expose itself as a service, correct? So you can easily integrate with any of them. But as a general pattern, over past few years, one of the solutions which easily integrates with this agentic flow is Streamlit, correct? Now, so naturally question comes, what Streamlit provides, what these technologies cannot provide. So number one, Streamlit is very much Python native. So you write the entire code in Python, correct? Okay, so naturally people who know Python can easily work with Streamlit. Okay, it has rapid prototyping, so there are many widgets which are readily available with it, and the few lines of Python code can easily create a web app. Okay, now third is it has an excellent visualization power. It has ability to show the data in tabular format. It also has extensions for charts, tool calls very effectively, correct? So all that things can be easily done with the help of Streamlit. So since the majority of people who work with agentic AI fall under the Python world, that's why this becomes quite easy to use Streamlit as such, correct? It's not that agentic AI is not available in C# or Java or any other technology. Yes, of course, it's available there also. But predominantly Python wise, when you want to make use of a UI technology or a wrapper on top of agentic UI, one of the preferred solution is Streamlit. Okay. Okay, so first thing is how can we install Streamlit? Streamlit is a third-party module, so you will have to install it by using pip. So pip install Streamlit. Okay. So once you install it, you can get various functions within Streamlit. So what are the functions? You can see user input. So st.chat input, st.button. These are some predefined widgets which we have, correct? We can show st.spinner or st.progress. So the first two things like st.chat input or st.button is majorly used for capturing the user queries, correct? So naturally, even in the world of agentic AI, we need somewhere to capture the user input, correct? And then we need to show the progress, correct? Similarly, we also need to show the conversation, correct? st.chat message. If you want to show the state, like agent has started, yes, or store something which is a very heavy object, for example, initialized agent and all. To prevent slowness, we can make use of session state, and we can also make use of visualization by using st.json or st.dataframe, correct? So all these different types of widgets or capabilities pertaining to each of the work which needs to be done in Agentic AI is readily available. That's what this slide wants to say, correct? So we have ability to take inputs, we have ability to show progress, we have ability to show messages, we have ability of session management, which will allow us to store heavy objects, and in the same way we can also show the result in the form of JSON or data frame, correct? This is what this particular thing means. So now comes agentic UI architecture and state management. Naturally, we are learning the UI architecture from agentic AI perspective. So the first question comes, what are the principles we will follow? The principles which will follow is every resources like LLM or agent should be initialized only once. They can be reused any number of times, but they should be initialized only once, correct? So this is predominantly done by checking the session object. So within Streamlit, there is a session object. We will check if the session doesn't have agent or if it doesn't have LLM, we will add it to the agent, correct? We'll add it to the session. And once we add it, we can use it any number of times. We can fetch any number of times, correct? Same way, conversation management. Like if you want to store messages or history of user prompt and agent responses, that is possible with the help of session state messages, correct? So this can store context of the user interactions. Now we learned in last few days that context plays an important role in getting the response, correct? So if you want the context to be stored in the UI, it can be easily done with the help of user interactions. It can be used with the help of state. So now with this much information, let's get started with our first example on Streamlit. Okay. So the first example which I am going to show is this particular widgets demo. Okay. So first thing is you have to install Streamlit. Pip install Streamlit. So here what we are doing is we are importing Streamlit. We are importing pandas and datetime. Correct. You know, pandas is a third-party library which shows data. So what we are doing is we are setting the page config, like how the page should be configured. Layout is one of the parameters. It's layout in the center and the page title is simple widget demo. Okay. We can also explicitly set the title and subheader, correct? And we are also using Markdown to just print dash dash dash. Now I am showing each of the widgets. So st.header import widgets, and I am creating an import widget. If you remember, one of the input widgets which was available is text input. Similarly, chat is also there. So here I am saying st.text import and enter your name. There is a predefined name, Jane Doe. And whenever user will enter something there, whatever user enters, that I will show by saying hello username, correct? Same way we can also have a slider. So st.slider, you give the label as select your age, minimum value, maximum value, the default value, and step, correct? How you want to step. So whether you want to increase by 1 or 2. Again, on the slider, whatever user selects, that age you will show. You selected age, right? Same way checkbox, correct? I agree to display my selection box, value equals true. Same way drop down, st.select box, choose your favorite banana, favorite fruit, sorry, apple, banana, cherry, and durian, and whatever user selects in the drop down, correct? That you can say st.right. Same way, if you want date import, you can use it. Select a date input dot date. And similarly, we also have buttons, correct? So if st.button generate report, st.success So it will rerun the entire script. So if agreement, if you remember, if agreement was there, which we had at the top, st.subheader report summary agreement checked. This is my data, sample data, attributes name, age, fruit, and date. Value is username, age, option, and date value. And we made use of the data frame, and we can show the data in st.dataframe, correct? If agreement is not selected, agreement must be checked to give the summary. Same way, I am showing widget state and st.json widget data, correct? Widget state, if you see, is an object with name, age, agreed option, and date. So if I copy this, now to run this, you will have to go to Streamlit. So in my machine, Streamlit is installed at this particular location, correct? So I will have to copy this. In your machine, wherever the Python scripts are there, their Streamlit will be present. If you want, you can add it in environment variable. If you add it in environment variable, it will be always available. Okay. So we can do streamlit.run, and within that, give the path. Come here. Give the path. So if I copy this, open CMD, and paste it, you will see this will run a server, local dev server. So see, this example shows the complete widgets. By default, it will start in this port 8501. You can start it in any other port. So let's scroll down. So first, interactive input widgets. You see, remember, enter your name, Jane Doe. Hello, Jane Doe. So if I make it Vishwa, say enter, hello, Vishwa came. You're able to see? So you see, with basic knowledge itself, I am able to develop the application. So if you use something like React or Angular, you have to learn many things, like how they work, where they store data, and so on. But here, it's totally abstracted, okay? So it becomes easier for people who are from this particular background, Python background, to easily use it. Doesn't mean React or Angular are not good frameworks. They are excellent frameworks. But this allows you to develop application fast, especially if you don't need a lot of fancy looking UI. In fact, if you see, the UIs are not bad. It looks quite good up to the production standard, correct? So select your age. You can keep on selecting. You see, 31, 32. So select 64. I agree to display my solution. So select your favorite fruit. Let's say durian. You see, it changed. Select a date. Let's say 30th. Button. So generate report. Correct. Button and conditional display. And this widget state. If you remember, this widget used to show you the JSON. Yes. So if I click on generate report, you see report generated. It shows me the data frame. So report summary agreement checked. And this is the data from data frame, correct? Name, Vishwa, age 64, durian, and date. So you see, this complete widget example shows you what all widgets are supported. Of course, these are not the complete widgets. These are only part of widgets which are given to us by Streamlit. You can say these are one of the commonly used widgets, correct? Daily use widgets. So let's go to the code once again and understand the mapping. So if you see, we make use of Streamlit. I gave title. You see, this image also came. If you see in the title, go back again there. Image also came. Title, subheader, then we have Markdown. Then we put hd.header, input widgets, st.text underscore input, enter your name. If you remember whatever name we had, we printed in the next line with hello message. Same way for slider, same way for checkbox, same way for select box, same way for date input. Okay. Now if the st.button generate button is clicked, then what we do is we give the success message. If agreement is present, we are showing all this data in the form of data frame by using st.dataframe and giving st.warning. So in the widget state, we can show all these widgets in the form of JSON, correct? Everyone able to see that? So let's extend this example so that I can load the iris data and show it, correct? So iris widget. So what I will do is I can say Streamlit iris. This I remove. So only code I will require is this. Remove this. Okay. On this. So what I will do, I will make use of the request module, input requests. Okay. So using the request module, when I click, I will get the data. So request dot get round bracket or we can directly say even request module I don't have to use. Within pandas itself, read underscore csv there, pd underscore read underscore csv and give the path of iris. So let me get the iris path. If I copy this and paste it in the URL, yes, simple widget example iris. Yes, so this will come. So let's try running this. So we'll copy it. Streamlit run. Iris widget. So instead of generate report, let's rename it to show iris. Showing iris. Okay. So let me save this. Go back and refresh. See, show iris came. If I click on it, you see it downloaded the data and got the data and responded back. Able to see everyone? See, it shows the entire data which we downloaded, correct? So see, we were able to create a simple example on clicking which the iris gets shown. Are we clear? Now we can also do an example where based upon our drop down, we can download the example, correct? So let me copy the widgets demo and say drop down sample or drop down.py. Select box. So what we will do is we will say to do's, commands, to do's and comments. Okay. Say use selected. Option is, and whatever input it gave, that I will use and say download report. We can delete this. This all will go away. df equals pd dot read underscore JSON, and I am going to get this data from this to do's. So we have to do's like this, we have comments like this, correct? We also have posts, I think. Post, yes, three things are there. Let me copy this URL. So along with plus option I will do comments. And we'll just create the data. Okay, so this is how we are going to do. So if I run it, come back there. Drop down. So you see comments, download report. See, it downloaded the report and show me the data. Automatically, you see, it shows you options of download in, search in, show hide columns, everything it provides. You see, out of box. Correct? That's the advantage. Same way, if I select to do's and say download report. See, to do's got selected. So you see, it's so easy to actually generate a UI. So within minutes, you will be able to develop. Of course, keeping in mind that the data sources which come are from Python world, correct? Sounds good, everyone? And instead of downloaded, we can have also told reports of plus option. Yes, if I go here, refresh, click on download, reports of to-do-skin. Select comments, reports of comments skin, correct? So it's possible. You're able to see how can we use. If you don't want this button, that is also possible, correct? If you don't want to have this button, then what we can do, let's say blank. Let me comment out this code. Say if option not equals to empty, then success fetching data. Then we can say df equals pd dot, and copy these two lines. And after showing this, we can again put success fetched. Or we can just remove this. Not showing any progress, no? Fetching it. So if you run this now, see to-dos data came. Click on comments, comments data came. And you click on post, post data came. Right? Are able to see automatically when you are fetching, it's disabling, correct? Showing the loading bar. Hopefully that makes sense, everyone. So you'll be able to, I think some space has come in post. So it can easily handle it, correct? Whatever you are sending. Quite effectively. So this is how you can handle. Okay, so this is the drop down example. How to fetch on fly, because till now we were showing the example with a button, but now without button also we showed this example, correct? Now let's go for this basic viewer example, which will extend our view. Okay, so let's see what all it has to provide. So at first I am using Streamlit. I am saying load data. Now I am generating a dummy data. Now to reuse that dummy data, I am putting @st.cache data. And in the data, we put data frame X, Y, and group. X is 100, Y is 100, and group is also 100, but with a random choice from ABC. Okay. Now we say df equals load data. I also can create a sidebar. So st.sidebar.header contents. So in the sidebar, I am showing all the groups. So groups are 3, A, B, C, correct? So all the groups which came from this data frame. So in the selected groups, when I say st.sidebar.select box, it will select that group to display. Correct? And we will say df square bracket group dot unique. So it will show me the unique values there. Now st.header, and whenever I am selecting that selected group, I am filtering my data frame based upon that selected group and showing that filtered data, correct? Same way we are also showing scatter chart, in which the filtered df I am passing. X I am given as X, Y I am given as Y, and color I am given as group. Okay, and I am also given a button refresh data, in which data refreshed we will show. So this is a classical example. So if I copy this, Stop the server and say basic viewer. Are you able to see? It's showing me the groups. C. So if I select C, the C data will be shown. If I select B, the B data will be shown. If I select A, the A data will be shown. And if you scroll down, you see scatter plot is also generated. You see, each time you select a group, that group scatter plot. See, so easy. So the benefit of using it is it's very easy to show such information, correct? If you want to develop this by using other frameworks, it's still possible, but it will be not so easy for people using this framework, correct? Yes. So this is the code we had. Now what we will do, we will try to use this, extend this basic viewer to iris basic viewer, correct? So what I am going to do is I am going to load the data. Instead of load data like this, we can say this pd.read underscore csv. Okay, so load data I am doing. Here I can say header and sidebar selected variety to display, and I will say df dot variety dot unique. Okay, now remaining thing is same. Instead of group I will say variety equal selected group. It will show that. The scatter plot naturally we don't have, so x we can say is sepal dot length, and here we can say petal dot length. So I am putting sepal dot length and petal dot length, and color I will say is variety, data for variety. So if I copy this, iris basic, iris basic. See, so it shows me for Setosa. If I scroll down, okay, sepal length and what happened? Show anything for sepal length and sepal width. Okay, so we'll have to see what went long in the scatter plot, but remaining things look fine. The top table is showing off Versi color. Virginica is also showing, correct? So everything else is fine. Only the scatter plot we will have to see. So let's go and see what's wrong in the scatter plot. Filter df x is sepal dot length. Sepal dot length only, correct? Let's see the column names. I think it's predominantly because of column names. Sepal dot length only. It's correct only. Sepal dot length. We have to inspect something. Some small error must have come. Yes. Yes. Scatter plot. Okay, I think some parameter name we must be missing. That's why scatter plot did not come. So data refreshed, petal length, sepal length. Field is having quite good value, so it's saying infinity to infinity. Yes, that's the problem. So sepal length, petal length, else come. We have to adjust the data. Yes, sepal dot length. Let's say sepal dot length and sepal dot length. What happens? I think it's because of extent. Yes. Data is coming at the top. Only thing is this we will have to correct. Yes, you can see data is coming perfectly. What if I don't give color? See. It comes. Only thing is some parameter is going wrong. You'll have to check what is that parameter name. But nevertheless, other than scatter plot, remaining data you can it comes properly, correct? So that should help. And if I select this data here, you can see the data changes in the table also based upon our filter. This all works perfectly. Scatter plot we will see, correct? What went wrong? I think majorly it might be because of these parameter names. So if you want, we can change it. Well, then we can say data dot columns equals x comma y comma m comma n comma variety. Okay, so let's say x equals x, y equals y. Let's just try that. I think predominantly it might be because of that name. So select this, it changes. Yes. Yeah, you see scatter plots are coming. As I told you, the difference was due to that dot being present in the name. Yeah, so we successfully debugged the issue also. So name of the column should be proper. Okay. So instead of that, if you want your own names, that's also possible. We can just strip it off and give that same name instead of giving these names. If you want data dot columns equals data dot columns dot str dot replace dot sepal length petal length. Let's see. Then if I go back, refresh it, scroll down, see now the names are coming properly. Scroll down, this is also coming properly. So that confirms that the problem was because of the dot. Agreed? So scatter plot is just one of the plots. There are many plots available. Okay, with ST. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now we can go for an intermediate filter, correct? So you can see here we have generate inventory data. We have product, category, price and stock. We are generating some random data, correct? Now if filters, now this example we are talking about session, correct? We discussed that we can store certain data in session. So here we are checking if filters is not in the session, we are adding filters in the session, correct? And what are filters we are adding? We are adding the category, we are adding the minimum value of price and maximum stock. Correct. These three filters we are adding. And what we are doing is we are creating st.columns, and in with column 1 we are given multi-select, st.multi-select selected categories. We know this was selected categories, unique.toList, and we are filtering st.session.state.filters category, and we are saying category select, correct? And we are updating the category with the selected categories. Same way for price range. Now for price range, we are just converting that to float and storing that value, correct? Same way with maximum stock value. Again, we are storing that in filter. And then we are filtering it. So we are filtering all the session state where categories is present. We are showing that elements. We also have a function of reset filter, correct? And rerun. So if I run this example, intermediate filter. So you can see selected categories: home goods, books, apparel, electronics. Okay, these are the default ones. So it's showing the data. We also have price range. This is a minimum price range and maximum stock value, correct? Yes. So when we remove something from this, it automatically shows that, correct? Updates. If I remove books, you see automatically the data is going. If you add it, it will come back. You're able to see these are all the categories which are available. So automatically based upon what I select here in the categories, that will be available in the session and the data will be filtered. Correct? You can also reset all the filters. If I reset, it will reset all the filters to the original value, correct? Make sense, everyone? So this is how we are able to show or make use of the data to show all the different types of filters and store it in session. Agreed? So that's also possible from the perspective of what we can say, perspective of Streamlit. Everyone with me? So okay, same way. Now till now what we did was whatever application we created in a single page. So we can also create multi-page system. So If I show this example, here we can show multiple pages. So more than one pages we can do. Okay. So if you see here from Langchain tools, we are using tools. You remember tools is to bring data from external API, correct? Or database. For now, we are not bringing in anything. We are just mocking it. So here we are checking for query. If market trends are present in the query, then we are saying market suggests a 15% increase in e-commerce adoption. Okay. Else we return stimulated result as a general. Now we are defining home page. There we have this header and markdown, and I am creating 3 columns. So column number 1 is active agents, task completed, last policy check, correct? So if user clicks on this button, we say go to collaboration room. Then we say st.session state.page equals collaboration, correct? So if user clicks on the collaboration page, we are storing that which page we are in the session state. And we are doing st.rerun. Same way, we have this page collaboration room where we have a button back to dashboard in which we are changing the page to home and rerun. We also have an input query here, st.text import, agent tool query, value, latest market trend. Now if st.button runs stimulated search, so when I click on this button, you will show a spinner. Spinner is for progress, correct? So run in stimulated search. Result stimulated search dot function. We are passing the input query. Whenever it comes, we are showing success and code, correct? Now if page is not set in the session.state, we are setting home as the page. And here we are giving a radio button where user can click on home or collaboration. So if it's home, by default it's 1. Correct? So 0 if it's home, else it's 1. Same way page selection is home, we make it home, else we make it collaboration. Now here we are checking if the user has selected home, we will show the page home page, or else we will show them the pay collaboration page. So if I run this, we will be able to understand better when we run, and then I'll explain the code again. Advanced. So you see the navigation. In the navigation, we have 2 radio buttons. When I click on home, by default I am in home, so I am in home page. When I click on collaboration, I will go to the collaboration page. In the home page, we have this back to dashboard button and simulated agent action. So here the query is latest market query. So when I say run simulated search, you see it gives. So when I click on this run stimulated search, if you go and see, we had that. Simulated search. So if you search this, yeah. If you say simulated search, we are passing the input query, correct? Input query is latest market trend. So you know here we are checking if market trends is in the query, then we give this. Else if I give something else, for example, if I go and say what is the temperature, if you run the simulated search, it will just give you simulated search results, correct? So when I click on home, I go into the home page. When I click on collaboration, I go to the collaboration page, correct? When I click on back to dashboard, I am coming back to the original page. All this is controlled by state. So let me explain the code again. So we have this simulated search, which takes a query and returns a mock data. So and then we are in the home page. In the home page, so if I see the home page, we have a sidebar with radio button, and we have this collaboration details. You are able to see active agents, task completed, log policy check. So all this information we are showing here, correct? Metric. If we say go back to collaboration page, we are going to the collaboration page again. So here we have given a button on clicking which will go back to the collaboration page. Now in page collaboration room, so if I go to page collaboration room, the second room, sorry, this was the page collaboration page, and here we have given session page equals home. So if I click on back to dashboard, it will take me to home. Else I take a input query and I am searching it. When I click on the button in our simulated search and get in the data and show in the data, correct? Whatever data comes, whatever result comes, that result I am showing. And I am checking if by default nothing is set in the page state dot page variable. We are setting it to home, correct? And we also created a sidebar. In sidebar we have radio button with home and collaboration, and this is how we set. So everything is controlled by state. So based upon state, this will work, correct? So now we will try to extend this example in getting data from two different request URLs. Okay, so what we will do, so let's say advanced multi-copy data frames. Use data frame as a reference. Okay, so in the sidebar, I will say to-dos and comments. Okay, so if by default anything is not there, then we will set to-dos. Page selection is to-dos. We will select it to-dos. Else we will select it as comments. So if the page is to-dos, I will say instead of page home, we just say page to-dos. Okay, and I will remove all this. Okay, and same way here, back to to-dos. Remove this. Instead of saying this, I will say to-dos page. And this we will say comments page. Page comments. Okay, so I am not doing anything of this. This is all I will remove. So now if I come to page comment, I am going to show the data frame, correct? So what I'm going to do here is, so I'll go to our widgets demo and make use of the data frame. Yes. let's say import pandas as PD. Okay, I'm not going to remove this simulated search. And here we will say PD dot read underscore JSON, and we can copy. So when we are in to-dos, I will copy this URL and make it to-dos. Okay, else I will copy this code and make this comments. Okay, so we will say page to-dos. Page comments. Okay, and we will copy this. Let's run this. Let's see how it looks. So you see we have to-dos page in which to-dos data is coming, correct? We also have comments page. When I click on that, comments data will come. Able to see comments data came. So based upon the nature, it's getting the data, correct? So very simple example which actually can get data from two different sources, correct? Okay, so this is how we made it, correct? Now we will try using this example with a simple agent, correct? For now. So let's go to the weather example which we created. So weather integration. This example, if you remember, we had generated few days before, correct? So I'm going to use this example. So let's create a button. So widgets demo, let me copy this. So let's rename this to agent UI 1, correct? So what we will do, we'll remove all this. Instead of entering username, we will ask enter. So in the weather example, we used latitude and longitude. Okay, so we capture. Let's say latitude. Enter your latitude. Default value is 12. This we will do later on. So we enter longitude. And default value is 77. Latitude comma, and longitude. Okay, this all I will remove. And what we will do, we will make use of this weather integration with request. Okay, and so we are going to make this latitude is latitude plus latitude plus double quotes longitude equals longitude, correct? Plus plus. Okay, and whatever weather we get, we are asking Mistral, and stream I will say false, because if I say stream now it will keep on showing, or let's keep stream 2, and let's see. If I take if I take stream equals false, we'll go in and check in the individual files. We don't want that. Yes, like this. So we can say response.echo. Or we can further scroll down. We had that in our earlier code. Okay, for now I keep it true and I will just keep on adding it. So we will say st.json and show the JSON, correct? So as soon as it starts coming, it will start showing the JSON response. So let's see how this will work. So once you enter the latitude and longitude, it will fetch data for that and show it. And we can give a button. Only on click of button this should happen, correct? So if st.button get data colon. Let's just adjust it. I think this is correct. Just put import JSON at the top. And one more thing we can do is we can also give the spinner. We had that spinner, correct, in our with st.spin. Go here. Yeah, that's fine. That we will integrate later on. Let's first see how this works. Here we will just put a text st.write LLM working. Okay, so let's see. So let me copy this. Go back there. Stop this. Agentic UI.py. So let's run this. Okay, so let's say get data. LLM working. See, my Docker is started and Olama is also running. Yes. So you'll be able to click and see the logs. See, it's running. So when it runs and completes, the data will start coming. Okay. Something unexpected came. So what I will do, instead of showing this in JSON, we'll just do write. Okay, and just show the response. Right. Let's see, line. Okay, let's see what happens now. Go away. Just refresh it once. So instead of showing the output in JSON format, let me just put it. Able to see, everyone? It's coming in binary format, so you'll have to decode it. Yes. It's giving you the response, correct? Yes. So see, we were able to get the response from our agent and show it. Of course, it's not looking very nice because we were not able to parse. Maybe we can try parsing. Let's go back. Yes, let's try this now and refresh. Okay, go back, run it. You're able to see the summarized weather shows the gradual increase in temperature over the given period. See, we could have shown it in a single line, but of course, that's just a modification which we are waiting for, correct? So what we can do, we can create a string here, result equals, and here instead of writing, we can say result equals result plus, we put some space, okay? And then once the for loop is over, just give the response. st.write result. And this should make it look good. So go back, run, get data. Of course, it will take few minutes because it has to capture all the result and then only show. Or we can start showing partially. Yeah, you see, the weather represents daily temperature with value ranging from, yes, able to see that? Agreed. Now, if I change this temperature 79, get data, we'll try to get that data also. We'll try to fetch that data, and based upon that data, I think 79 is not there, I think. We'll try getting that data. Once it gets that data, it will be able to give it to LLM. I think data is not there for 79. 70, maybe 73. 73 and try getting the data. Correct. Of course, error is not handled, so that we may have to handle. Agreed. So this is how this example works. Hopefully everyone clear on this. Is a very preliminary integration, correct? Of course, we will go for more detailed integration in coming up days, but this is how a preliminary integration looks. See, for 73 also it's fetching the data. Let's see what it gives. See, it gave the temperature. So this is how our Streamlit integration with agents preliminary example can work, correct? Go for more detailed example in coming up days. So just to recap, so today we started with Streamlit. We learned what all widgets it can support. We also learned how development of it is quite easier by using the various widgets it gives. We also learned how can we fetch data from external sources by using library like pandas and request and show that data. And finally, we also went and showed how can we integrate with a preliminary agentic AI, correct? And how to show that result. So this is what we learned. So tomorrow we will try to integrate this more with agentic AI frameworks and make complex examples work with this, correct? So that's what we are planning. Hopefully you all enjoyed this session. We will again catch up tomorrow to learn something new. Thank you.